That's a great intro. USDA prime beef, wine, bourbon, and decadent desserts have the power to reduce poverty. Did you know that movers and shakers all have something in common? They all happen to love USDA prime beef, wine, bourbon, and decadent desserts, usually all of the above. So we literally use our assets at Jeff Ruby Culinary Entertainment, a family-owned restaurant group of 7 steakhouses, to set the table, to talk strategy, and to collaborate with change agents. It's our family legacy to reduce poverty through the foster care system. And we have one goal in mind: to take Cincinnati off the top 5 childhood poverty lists. Why are children so important to us? Well, before my father, Jeff Ruby, was a successful restaurateur, he was a troubled kid. He ran away from home when he was 15 because no one ever wanted to claim him. In fact, his mother had 4 husbands. He refers to them as his forefathers. But no one ever wanted to claim this Jeff Ruby as their son, until a high school football coach named Jeep Bednarik took him under his wing, and he went from failing every single class to a full-ride scholarship to Ivy League Cornell University, where he was the star football player. Fast forward to 1987, when this now successful restaurateur was in a horrific car accident. He was in a coma for a month, declared brain dead, and given a 2% chance of living. But when he miraculously walked through those hospital doors against all odds, he said he knows it's because he has a destiny and a purpose here on earth. That started by becoming the Jeep Bednarik to 20 or so of my surrogate brothers. In fact, my little brother Griff is sitting right over there. Hi, Griff. Pictured here, we flew them all in from all over the country to surprise him for his 70th birthday. For me and my family, this isn't just something that I watched my father do. Naturally, I've inherited this gene. When my husband's friend was sentenced to 14 years in prison, we took that family of 6 in the same way I've always watched my mother and father do. Little did I know the amount of joy that that family of 6 would bring the Miller family. So I go back to that staggering statistic that Cincinnati's in the top 5 for childhood poverty. We believe by focusing on the foster care system, our most vulnerable kids, we can drastically improve our community and break the cycle, whether it's homelessness, addiction, teen pregnancy, you name it. Every kid deserves a fair shot at life. In fact, according to Arrow, which is an international placing agency, 80% of all incarcerated people have been through the foster care system. We can prevent this. See, at any given moment, there are 3,000 kids in our local foster care system. What would happen if we found homes for even half of them? Think about what that would do for our community. Think about what that would do for the 1,500 kids who now have a place to call home. But after 2 years of research, we actually believe that we've found a formula or a piece of the solution to not only place every kid in our local foster care system, but every kid in America. Bold statement, I know. Stay with me. I'll never forget sitting across the table from the governor, the first lady, their cabinet members, and us sharing this vision. And the governor looking right back across the table with a twinkle in his eye, saying, "We've discovered that exact same thing." So what is it? It's really quite simple, actually. There are 440,000 kids in the foster care system in America, but there are just as many churches. If one family from each church said, "I'll take one kid," we'd place nearly every kid in America in the foster care system into a foster home, a stable, loving home. But our foundation is focused on so much more. This is the first piece of the puzzle. We support grassroots nonprofits, respite care, wraparound care, aged out kids, lobbying, giving a voice to these kids. In fact, it's given us a platform in DC. Pictured here, I'm with former foster kids who are now interning on the Hill, writing policies based on their own experiences. It's remarkable. So what does this have to do with you? We believe everyone, every single one, should have a vision for your life. Everyone. Now, you might be saying, I'm not Jeff Ruby and I don't have a foundation. Fair enough. But I think back to that Jeep Bednarik, who wasn't rich or famous, but he had a vision. And he used his own gifts, talents, and assets to set the table for a child, to give hope to a child, to support a child. So you don't have to have USDA prime steak, bourbon, wine, or decadent desserts, though I do highly recommend them. Use your own gifts, talents, and assets, and you too are on your way to a lasting legacy. Cheers.